Do you have a problem holding your employees accountable? Continue to listen as I share how to create accountability in 5 easy steps. That's right, 5 easy steps to create accountability with your employees. Listen on. My name is Michelle Zink, and I'm the owner of Intentional Solutions Corp. And I work with businesses on developing outstanding leaders and managers who want to level up and take ownership in their positions. Today's strategy is all about creating accountability. Now, you're a leader or manager if you're watching this video, and I'm speaking to you. I was a leader and manager for over 21 years, and I didn't learn this technique till probably midway through my career. And let me just tell you, when I started implementing it, it really became effective and it helped me get exactly what I needed from my employees. And by doing that, it made them happy. The employees felt better. They knew exactly what needed to be done for me. So it created that accountability, and it also created a sense of ownership, and it created us actually being one of the most outstanding departments in the company. I would have to say so myself. So what is this 5-step process? The first step begins with knowing what you want. So when you're thinking about accountability, you need to know what kind of accountability you want. If you're thinking about an employee, what type of results do you want, right? You need to know what you want in order to get the accountability. So I'm going to give you an example from my department and how I was helpful in creating accountability. My boss always wanted to know the AR aging and where we stood. So I knew what I wanted was my employees to actually work on the AR aging every month. I had one employee who would work on it. And so I knew I wanted that to be done. I wanted to be able to go into my boss's office every month and give him an update. Know where we stand. How much money have we collected? Who are our problem customers? Is there anything he can do to help us? That's what I wanted. So number 1, you got to decide what you want. Number 2, you've got to decide why. Why do you even want this? For me, I knew my why was, if we actually do this, we're going to make my boss happy, which makes you happy too, right? If my boss, who's over me, is the one who helps me, decide on increases and helps me decide on employee advancement, if I can make him happy with you doing something, that's a win-win for you. So the big why for me was I want to make my boss happy. And then also, I want to collect money so that we can actually pay your bills and pay your salary, because I really appreciate you and I want to make sure that we can continue to pay your salary. So that was my why. It's always good to share a why with your employees because it helps to create ownership and buy-in. The third thing is to decide, what does success look like? Like when you think about the AR aging and you think about why you're doing it, what does success look like? To me, success looked like my employees making sure that they reviewed the 90 to 120 bucket one time, a month, that they actually came to me monthly and had reviews and reports on all the buckets and told me the customers that were problem childs and who I needed to help them with. They told me, situations where companies had shared maybe a situation where, they were going through a hard time and they might be slow on payment. So we kind of knew ahead of time who we need to watch on. So I developed a whole list of what success looked like. So when I met with my employee, I could share with them what I needed from them, my why, and then what success would actually look like. Fourth step is to tell them when you need this information. So again, going back to my AR aging and reviewing that, I needed that by the middle of the next month. Because when I met with my boss on the financials, I also like to provide information about the AR aging. So I told my employee, we have a goal of middle of the month, you will get with me and let me know who our problems are, who we've collected on, all of the things that I determined that were success. You would give those to me by the middle of the month so that I can meet with my boss. And I'd be very specific. I would set a specific date and even time if I needed it. So if I had a meeting being set up, I could say the 15th at 4 p.m. if that's when I needed it to be able to prepare for the next day meeting. A lot of times we go ahead and go through the steps of deciding what we want. We give us our why, we determine success, but we do not set a time limit. We always have to give a by when date and a time if necessary. And then the fifth thing is follow up. Just because someone said, I'm going to do this for you, I'm going to get it, I'm going to do everything you need, you are the leader of the manager. You are responsible to ensure that your employee gets you what you want on time. We cannot assume that they're going to do it. So you have to create a situation where you're always following up. One thing that I always did was, and I continue to do, if I ask someone for something and I have a specific date set that I need it by, I put it on my calendar. I remind myself, check in with Jane to make sure she's ready. Another thing you can do is if you know you have a meeting on Friday or you know you need something by a certain date, you can actually email them a few days ahead of time and set up a meeting. Hey Jane, I know that you're having this done by Thursday. I would like to set up a 3 p.m. meeting so that you can share everything that you need to share with me. Okay, so just to review, number one, we need to say what we need. We need to determine what we need from our employees. Number two, we need to decide our why. We want to be able to share that with our employees so we can get their buy-in. Number three, we need to define success and share that with them so they know exactly what they can do in order to be successful with this particular situation. Number four, we need to determine when. When do we need to get it by? Determine a date and a time if necessary. And then number five is we have to follow up. We have to follow up. Doing those 5 things will get you amazing accountability and get you the results that you're looking for in your department. Okay, now what I need from you right now is to subscribe. I want to make sure that you can continue to get my leadership and management updates every week, and that you can continue to learn and grow as a leader and manager, because that's my job. I want to make sure that you're a success. Remember, let's take action together.